So everyone is here. Just now history ma'am, Anuradha ma'am called that she is not well. Today I don't know. Murali Krishna sir took the vaccine and he's not well. No problem. We have lots more to do. We will do it. So we are talking about ONGC, right? Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. Here they do the work of digging those oil wells, yeah, and refining that oil and natural gas and supplying it to the petrol bunks. Petrol, yeah, petrol. So we have after it is yeah dug from the earth and it is refined, we have HPCL, Hindustan Petroleum, yeah, Corporation Limited. Yes, so there you can Bharat Petroleum is also there, Hindustan Petroleum is there, and there are private sectors also which take care of the refining it and also selling it across the country, right? So now this ONGC first tries to identify Godavari Basin is a very good resources of, you get resources of oil and natural gas, and this is there in Trishna gas project also. So different places it will this will happen. Now after the reserve is identified by the geologist, they will estimate how deep is it, how deep under the earth it is there, and then they start digging it, and they will take it, they will refine it, and then it will be given to the different petroleum and diesel companies. Why is it very important that we should take care of our own natural resources? Because if we start importing it from other countries, due to situations, if they are selling it to us at very high rates, our economy will get very much affected. That's why at least to some extent we should be taking care of the reserves. We should have our own methods in which where the resources are there, to identify it, to take it. You must have seen in Godavari Basin, in few places, sometimes what happens, the gas gets leaked. These pipelines are there, no? The gas gets leaked and suddenly there will be gas leaks. Means what happens? Fire. It will catch fire, and to extinguish it, it becomes very difficult to extinguish that fire. So this Oil and Natural Gas Corporation does it, and in this, particularly in these wells, so it comes under that wildlife sanctuary. So when human activity is there, so definitely that wildlife will get affected, no? So naturally the environmentalists and the ONGC people will have an argument, will have a fight about it. Right. So this is of importance. Why? Because now National Wildlife Board and also ONGC has to come into terms in such a way that the wildlife will not get affected. So I was talking about the Godavari Basin. This is Gomati district of Tripura also has huge oil reserves. Now, how is, can anybody tell me, how is the oil reserves or the prices of petroleum and diesel affect our economy? Tell me. What will happen? Like, no, why people are worried whenever there is a petrol or diesel hike, that government will be questioned like anything. Right? Why is it happening? How does it affect the country's economy? In what way will it affect?
Petrol is a basic need, so common people will not be able to buy if it is so expensive.
Correct. That is one issue, right? Yeah. So you want to use your two-wheeler or four-wheeler, you need petrol and diesel. So that's why, yeah, it should be cheaper. Okay. Then what else? Padma, can you think of any other, immediate effect? Why people will be so much worried? That is the personal thing. Like that is like, no, small families issue. What else will get affected?
And the transportation also, it will have an impact, ma'am. Like, I mean, it will also expense the India's expenditure because mostly India uses a road transportation.
Road transportation, right? Yeah, even aviation also, yeah, is always dependent upon diesel and these things only. So what happens when you are trying to, yeah, suppose the farmers in Rajahmundry or in Vijayawada, they try to grow a lot of fruits or vegetables, and they try to send to the nearby places, that is like Hyderabad, or to a nearby cities they try to send, nearby suppose Bangalore, around areas they will try to send it. Now if this petrol or diesel prices are increasing, what happens when you are bringing them from the yeah, fields to the markets in the cities? That rate also will increase. So your normal rate of your vegetable also will increase. So the common man is affected in two ways now. One is his own expenditure, his own family's expenditure will increase, yeah, because of his transportation. And now each and everything from factory, it has to reach the city or the market, then that will also increase, right? So in these two ways, it deeply affects the economy of the country, economy of the every family it affects, right? So this so immediately first this Trishna grass project of ONGC was given for consideration for National Wildlife Board. So this National Wildlife Board has given approval, and that is how this 10 to 12 gas bearing wells are getting. Then they started excavating from those, yeah, from those. So now when this particular thing is in news, so what happens? You should know what is this Trishna Wildlife Sanctuary. So whenever something is in news, that particular place or that particular yeah, institution also you should know about. So what is the Trishna Wildlife Sanctuary? First of all, it is in Tripura, correct? It is in Tripura. Tripura, where is Tripura? Now you should imagine, or you should visualize, not imagine, visualize it in the country's map, right? Next week, I think so, we should have one. We did, if you go through that geography lesson, total lesson, if you will go through, I think so next week we can have 10 to 15 small quiz or test we can have in that. Main thing is you should be able to visualize the country's map or the world's map. Then only you will be able to identify the things. So always in geography, I've inserted so many maps so that you will identify where this is. Suppose when I talk about Sweden, where is it? Where is Sweden? Which continent it is? Yeah, what are the neighboring countries? That you should be able to visualize. Can anybody tell where is this Sweden?
Europe, ma'am.
Europe, right. Surrounding countries, you can tell, neighboring countries.
Poland.
Poland
is Norway.
Sweden, Norway, correct. Yeah, it is in Europe. So neighboring countries, yeah, like that. If you are able to immediately visualize it, if I say Tanzania, where is it? Anybody? Yesterday's continents, if you go through, you will be able to tell me.
Africa, ma'am.
Africa, yeah, correct. Yeah. So the Amazon River, we only know Amazon, yeah, for online shopping. Actually, where is Amazon? It's a river. Yeah. Okay, today after the class, you will look at it. Mississippi River, Mississippi, where is it? Yeah, Tigris, where is it? Suez Canal, where is it? Panama Canal, where is it? These 5 things you tell me. Amazon River, Mississippi River, Tigris River, Tigris, Panama Canal, Suez Canal. 5 things. Okay, please make a note of it. And also keep yeah, your notebook ready. We will go to, yeah, because Anuradha ma'am is not able to take up the class. We will do CSAT also. Okay, after I finish this, There you need a pen and pencil or pen and paper. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have missed yesterday's class. Have you uploaded in YouTube or
That's what
site?
yesterday there was no network, ma. Where I was taking up the class. Now I am in Vishakhapatnam. So there was network issue. Only part of it only it has come. Okay, I will try to share the document, whatever sir taught now, that information I will try to send. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
you go through
Okay.
it, and in next class you can ask questions for Murali Krishna sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So today I'm trying to cover three things. One is environment, right? Second thing is in CSAT, series questions, number series and alphabet series questions will be there. Just like, yeah, you have it in most of the competitive exams, you will have this, right? So that we will discuss. And also a little bit like now statement wise. Yeah, statement 1, statement 2 will be given. Which one is correct? Like assertion and reason questions only. Statement questions are there. That also we will do. Okay. So now about this Trishna Wildlife Sanctuary, you should have a little bit idea about it. So where is it? It is in South Tripura district. How many kilometers approximately? You should have an idea. What are the important, important animals which are there in that? So as soon as you talk about Trishna, so like you can make a tabular column. Okay, what are all the wildlife sanctuaries? How much ever, like, you go through the notes or go through the websites or you go through different books also, until and unless you don't write your own notes in your handwritten notes, it will not be useful. Because you will wildlife sanctuaries, name of the wildlife sanctuary, what is its area, which place it is there, right? And what are the important animals which are found in that wildlife sanctuary. If you make that right, you will be, once you draw it and we write it with your hand, you will remember it better. Okay, so I think so this exercise you can do for this week. All the different wildlife sanctuaries, how much, what is the area, right? Where is it located? And what are the important birds or animals which are found in that? Okay, so in this sanctuary, the beauty of it is perennial water rivulets. What is perennial water? Rivulets means, yeah, small tributaries, small, parts of the river, right? What is perennial water? What is that? Perennial means what?
Ma'am, it has water
So-
throughout the year.
Throughout the year. Not
Yes, ma'am.
seasonal. Padma also was trying to tell the same. Yeah. So it's not part of the part. See, Ganga, Godavari, these are all called as the major rivers because they will not dry up in summer. They may become little smaller in size, but they will not become extinct. Such rivers are the major rivers in our country, which are Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, Tungabhadra, Godavari, Krishna, Narmada, Tapati, these rivers, Brahmaputra, all these. Now, Nilgiri Tahar, what is this? One more point, when we are talking about the endangered species, what are the current affairs or the current topics which are in news, right? So the other one is Nilgiri Tahar. So here there is a lot of, due to global warming, here this part of it is becoming warmer and warmer, and due to this climate change, there are chances that it is threatening. Means it's a long thing, like if you take care of it, we can avoid it. Yeah, we can avoid it. That means 60% of its habitat is in danger. So if you take care of it, if you take new better policies, definitely we will be able to save all that habitat. So it is not just the government's issue is not just taking care of the people, to take care of the whole geography of the country, to take care of all the living organisms which are there. Yes, to take it should be a totality of all this. So that's why you need to be reading about it also. So this is in the Western Ghats. Where are the Western Ghats? Immediately again you should visualize. Shamla ma'am spoke a lot about this Western Ghats.
The southern India, ma'am, like Tamil Nadu around
Towards Tamil Nadu
towards
is
the
Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats means
sorry,
Goa,
Kerala, Goa,
Maharashtra.
Kerala, yeah,
Goa,
ma'am. Sorry.
Maharashtra, these
Yeah.
places is Western Ghats. These are very steep mountain. These are steep hills are there. The ranges, yeah, the hills which are there are more steep. Whereas to the eastern side there are more coastal plains are there. We have learnt about it now. So go through that once again. So this is in the Western Ghats, and that too in the southern Western Ghats. Southern Western Ghats are towards Kerala. Tamil Nadu will not come exactly over there, but this reserve means small piece is Kerala, no? Somewhere you will very close to it, you will get Tamil Nadu also. Tamil Nadu, like it's a culmination of both this side Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats together. You will find in Tamil Nadu. All right. So why we should start taking care of it now. The climate how we should stop this global warming is one universal issue, right? It is to all the countries in the world together. They have to take care of this global warming. So last class we have learned no, how we should stop air pollution, how we should protect our ozone layer. Yeah. So this is also part of it. So what happens? Agriculture is getting affected, aquaculture. So nowadays there are a lot of seafood which is being which is being taken care of, which is being reared, and because there's lots of export of that, right? So all this will get affected. Where is this Munnar? You must have
Kerala, ma'am.
Kerala. Munnar is very famous, right? Kerala, what is it famous for? For all, they have lots of water everywhere, coconut trees, greenery, isn't it? So people always try to go for their vacation into the to Kerala. Correct? Yeah. Next. What else is important? Important point. Swelling salinity threatens Gangetic dolphins. What does this mean? Can you understand what it is? Swelling salinity threatens Gangetic dolphins. What do you understand from this particular heading? Because you should be able to guess. See, if you really do not know that part of the question also, you should be able to go do a very intelligent guess at least, right? Just when we were doing this lesson, we learned about the Gangetic dolphins. Where are dolphins? Dolphins, there's area where the
river meets the sea.
the sea, right? Yeah. So why is salinity increasing there? When the sea-water moves into the river, what happens? Naturally,
The salt content will be
saline means
increased.
the salt content is increasing. So when the salt content is increasing, what happens? Dolphins need fresh water. So dolphins are not able to survive. Yeah. Suppose you are you are made to drink all the saline water every day. What will happen? In few days, you will become sick, right? Same thing is happening to the dolphins also. So this Gangetic dolphins, so what should we do? We should take care that this salinity, this water, sea water getting mixed up too much with the river water should be avoided. So for that, different measures needs to be done. So freshwater loving mammals. These are the dolphins. Yeah, entire length of Ganga and Brahmaputra along its tributaries, that the delta near Bay of Bengal. So the river Ganga, when it is meeting up the Bay of Bengal, it splits into small tributaries and meets the sea, right? So there the land is very fertile, very rich, fertility is there. So the person who is, who is remembered, the dolphin man, who is called Ravindra Sinha. He has done a lot of saving the dolphins. He has done a lot of work, just like Timmakka, no, in Bangalore. What is her name? Some other word is also there.
Salu Maladara Timma.
Yeah. So what did she do? She loved
Planted trees,
She's
ma'am.
planted lot of trees. So she is responsible. She is very old, but even till now she's taking care of she treats plants like her own children. So she has been revered. She has been honored by various organizations for the efforts she is doing, for that commitment, for that dedication with which she is trying to do it, right? So like that only, when it comes to dolphins, it is you whom you have to remember. Ravindra Sinha. So like that, for every thing you need, you have one person who is very much associated to it, right? So Gangetic, to save these dolphins, Vikramshila Gangetic Dolphin Sanctuary is there in Bihar. Yes, and Asia's first Dolphin Research Center is coming up in Patna. Patna is also on the shores of Ganga only. So what should we do? Natural water modifications. So what should we do to prevent all this? That has to be the dams and even this you should know that United Nations organization has reminded all the countries that all your dams are now, the Tungabhadra Dam, all these have started after independence, right? So they are around 50, 60 years old dams you have. Please take care of them. Like no, because they are becoming little old, right? So how will you protect the dams? Please see that you are taking care of the safety measures, because this dam water, any seepage, means anything happens to the dams, the water will flood and all the low-lying areas will get severely affected, right? So it's warning the countries, like China, India, who have constructed the dams like 50, 60 years back. So please take care of it. Think of alternatives, how you can protect your dams, how you can make the necessary modifications so that there's no threat to life, is what has been warning given by United Nations. Okay, so what are the threats which are happening to these dolphins? How we can work on it? How we can change our natural systems, our water management? How we can protect our dams? How can we use the water? There are so many environmentalists who are against the construction of the dams also. They say that all those people who are living beneath that, very close to it, are losing their lands, losing their agricultural land, losing their houses. Yes, so compensation should be done. Lots of the vegetation which is there also will become will be, when the dam is constructed, all that will go, isn't it? So these kind of things, what are its effects, causes and effects, all this should be studied properly. Now government feels that if dam is constructed, more and more area can be irrigated, and the environmentalists feel that this, if the dam is all that area, those people, those peasants, that agricultural land will get affected. That's what the environmentalists feel. So there will be lot of discussions between the two, and then finally the construction of the dam, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, extent study will be done, and then the decisions will be taken. Just like how ONGC and the National Wildlife Board, how they have taken, no? So like that only it will be taken. With lots of meetings, yeah, it will happen. So this is all about environments, endangered species. This is one very, very important topic. So your homework will be to find out how many endangered wildlife sanctuaries are there. Yeah, how many wildlife sanctuaries are there, where are they, what are the important animals in that, and how big are they. This is your homework, right? And a small test in geography, that is map pointing only I will ask, to understand how far you are good with the world map, right? And I've asked you to keep one big world map, India map ready in front of you, so that as you are moving also you will be seeing all the places, you will be able to identify, you will be able to visualize, you will be able to memorize it better. That's very important. Keeping an atlas, keeping a huge very big India map, and in most of the government offices you see, no, they behind the person who is sitting over there, that official, you will have the India map, right? Or a globe on the table. These all represent the importance of the geography, right? So children understood? We'll go to CSAT. Any doubts? Go through it clearly, very neatly. You go through all the points. Any doubts, you can ask in the next class about this environment related endangered species topic. Any doubts, children? Then we'll go to CSAT. Ma, are you there? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then we'll go to CSAT. So to tell Pearly, this prelims exam, the first exam which you are going to write in your process of appearing for UPSC is prelims exam. So this prelims exam has two papers. One is general studies. In general studies, you have this environment, history, geography, public administration, economics, all this you have in the science and technology, all this you have in current affairs. You have it in the first paper. That's called as general studies. Now in the second paper, we'll check your little logical reasoning, verbal reasoning. These questions will be there, and this is called as CSAT.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So in this three categories of questions we have already done. I will forward it to you. Right. You can go through those categories also. Every question these are all objective type questions. No, three categories we have already discussed. I will share with you. You can also go through it. For every question, I have given the answer and also the explanation. Also, I have given. Right. So in the first three categories, we have discussed about the number series, how the series will be there, how there will be, sometimes you add, you get the next number, sometimes you multiply, you get a next number, sometimes you multiply and then subtract something, you get the next number. So there will be a particular pattern. You need to identify the pattern, right?
Okay, ma'am.
This is about the logical skills. You are how much you are using your logic. It's very, very important for an administrator, right? You see several people who are under you. Suppose you become the collector, each one of them will, your subordinates will try to come up with ideas or with programs which they have their personal benefit in that. But you should be able to judge whether really how far is it going to be how far is it going to be affecting, or it is going to be advantageous to the common man. You have to think and then take the decision, right? So here your logical skills are very much checked. So this paper is all about your logical reasoning, how you are able to read English, and comprehension passages are there. How you are able to, suppose there is a government order, some order has come to you, how well you are going to read it and understand it and implement it, isn't it? You can't depend on somebody else for reading it and explaining it to you, right? They may do it in a wrong way. So that's why all these things are checked in paper 2, right? How you are making decision making also, how you are able to the next part of the lesson I will do that also. In this notes itself I have put up. So there are few statements given. What is your opinion about it? What is your opinion about it? What kind of decision would you like to make with these conditions, with these situations which are given to you? So that also we will consider. Now we will come to the first part of it, category 4. 3 categories we have already done. Other two, Kirtana and Padma, have you gone through those categories? Yeah, very well. Will you be able to solve problems based on that?
Yes, ma'am, but more practice. We need to solve.
You need to practice, right? Padma, did you try those 3 categories?
Ma'am, most of them I have tried, ma'am.
Most of them you have tried, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here you look at the first question. F2. Here there are numbers as well as alphabets. Both are there. See, this you are preparing for UPSC means any kind of exam after that, means group 1 exams or group 2 exams or state government. Each state has its own to recruit staff. It has its own exams. So all that, bank exams, even like MBA if you want to write also, all these are related to one another. If you prepare for one, you are preparing for all of them. Okay. So now, F2 dash D8 C16 B32. First you have to try to understand the logic with it. Okay, first is all alphabets, right? Is there any link in those alphabets? Okay, D, C, the 3 are there in continuous, no? Continuous 3 letters are there. D, C, B. Oh, it's B, C, D. That means you are going in the reverse order, in the alphabetical order, correct? So after F, what does it come?
E.
So, okay, I understood that it is E. Oh, there are 2 options again with E. E4, E3. Now I will look at the numbers. First to try to see these numbers. 8, 16 and 32. 8, 16 and 32. What do you observe in that? 8, 16 and 32?
Multiplication by 2, ma'am.
By 2, right. 8 into 2 is 16, 16 into 2 is 32. Now to multiply 2 into 2, 4, right? So your E with 4 is the correct option. Got it? That's the logic. Yeah, it's given in the explanation also. Understood? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now go to the next one. And in most of them, you should also understand that a few numbers are there or few letters will be there. They will be simply repeating. There is no logic in that. They will be simply be repeating after two terms or 3 terms. They will automatically keep repeating. So you have to look for such things also. Okay, now it is 664, 332, 340, 170. So what do you observe over here? This by 2, if you do, you get this, right? 664 divided by 2 you get 332, correct? Yeah. Now next number, how are we getting? Now suppose if I have to divide by 2, now next one should be 100 and it should be 66, right? But it is not 166, it is 340. Okay, I am not able to establish the logic. Now I am going to the next one again. 340 by 170. 340 and 170 means again by 2 means I will get 170. Here by 2 I am doing, I am getting the next one. Here by 2 I am doing, I am getting the next one. But what is the link between 332 and 340? I am adding 8, correct? If I add 8, I am getting 340. So my next number should be by adding 8. I should get by adding 8. So 170 plus 8 is 178. Option D. Yes. So what is the series? First divide by 2 and then add 8. That is the logic in this question. So identifying the logic is very, very important. Next. Kirtana, you should have done it then in NTSC exam also, no? Such questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, easy only it is. For you, it will be easy. You have already done it. Next. Tell me, ma, quickly. Explain me the logic. These are Roman numbers, Roman numerals. Correct? 5, 8, 11, 14. Means I am adding 3. 14 plus 3 is 17.
17.
So it is option D. Okay. Only thing it's simple addition only, but you are doing it you're writing it in Roman numerals. Okay. This meeting will end. Students, please join once again. I will end it.